We got to talk about one of the biggest kind of pop culture phenomenons of 2024. Talking, of course, about Mike Tyson's bare ass on Netflix. No, we got to talk about Tyson versus Paul, that whole fiasco. Well, why don't we talk about the undercard first? Let's work it in order. And I'm going to preface my remarks by saying I am not a boxing expert, not by a long shot. So you forgive me in advance. I'm to a certain degree talking out my ass here, but I come to you as a layman, not a lame man, but a layman nonetheless. So let's start with fight of the night. Fight of the night, hands down, was Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. And if you have not watched that fight, that's like a fight of the year candidate right there. And I think everyone watching at home and everyone in the arena, including the broadcast team, literally the only people that didn't think that Amanda Serrano not only deserved to win, but earned that victory and fought better was the fucking referee and the judges. Absolutely ridiculous. Amanda Serrano got straight up robbed, and that wasn't cool. Katie Taylor is notorious for the headbutts. She fights dirty. She wraps her arms around you every time you get close to her so the referee will come and break it up. And then she headbutt her and then kept grinding her head into that giant gash above her eye. She literally had to have her face sewn back on. It was seriously like Face Off. Remember Nicolas Cage and John Travolta? That's what Amanda Serrano looked like. Katie Taylor took her face off. Sorry. I'm a child of the 90s. Give me a break. But it was a very controversial decision. Everyone thought that Amanda Serrano earned the victory, deserved the victory, and it was not a fair contest, in my opinion. And the trainer for Amanda Serrano called it perfectly. They need a referee that'll do his job, and that would be that. But I can't imagine, like, it just made me absolutely sick after watching that. They beat the shit out of each other. But Amanda Serrano should have come out on top. That's just my opinion. What was it? Here, let me look at the stats here. I have the stats in front of me. So for total punches, Amanda Serrano hit 20 as opposed to Katie Taylor, who landed 7 through. Okay, excuse me. Landed. She landed 20 in the first round as opposed to Katie Taylor 7. Second round, Amanda Serrano lands 15 punches to Katie Taylor's 14. 16-13 third round, 23-17 fourth round, 17-12 fifth, 18-20 sixth. So it looks like Katie Taylor did land a couple more. And then seventh round, 54-35, eighth round, 36-24, 52-36 in the ninth, and 73-30. Literally one round. And it was probably the round where her eye was really freaking bothering her. Freaking bullshit. But that event was questionable across the board. I think we can all agree on that. Just saying. Of course, what everyone's talking about with Mike Tyson wasn't the actual fight itself, because that was an embarrassment to boxing, but it was the pre-fight interview the best part is when I was watching it, I didn't even realize that was Mike Tyson's son at first. And then at the end of it, all you see is Mike Tyson kissing another dude on the cheek and then walking away with his big ass hanging out. It was hilarious. There's some word online that Netflix might not have known that he was going to do that, but, I don't buy it. I think that was vintage Mike Tyson. He's very humorous. He has a really good sense of humor. And quite frankly, if Norm Macdonald were still alive, I'd say bring back the Mike Tyson Mysteries. Very underrated cartoon. I will go down in flames fighting for that fact because it's true. The actual fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, there was maybe one good punch thrown. He got one through and got him right in the chin, and it wasn't enough. And I've been kind of back and forth about this Tyson fight. I'll be honest with you guys. So the day of the fight, I was very vocal on social media and said, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, who gives a shit? Mike Tyson, he earned it. He's Mike Tyson. He had nothing to lose by going out there and doing it one more time. Because no matter win, lose, or draw, he's still Mike Tyson. Can't take that away from him. Jake Paul, on the other hand, had everything to lose. Getting exposed by someone twice his age. And I kind of went back and forth on that. People claiming, oh, Mike Tyson did it for the payday. And, the more I read about it, I can be swayed. My opinions on certain topics can be changed, believe it or not. And I have to say that I don't know the answer. I think that there's a chance. I mean, if there's one thing Jake Paul's brother has proven, they do some shady shit for clout. Have they matured a little bit? Logan, maybe a little bit, because he didn't get the shit kicked out of him and ran out of WWE on a rail, because they would have if he came in trying to big league everyone. But I'm starting to question whether or not the fight was legitimate. I really am. I mean, we know that Jake Paul has a history of fighting non-boxers that are not in their prime. The one person that he fought that was a legitimate boxer, that kind of the same age group, was Fury's brother. I forget his name. And he lost. Big shocker. But everyone else has been an MMA fighter. In the case of Mike Tyson, double the age. And, people are saying that this fight is fixed. And I got to say, if it is fixed, if anyone would fix a fight, it would shock me the least if it were Jake Paul. That said, you mark my words, you take this to the bank and cash it because you can collect interest on this statement. If it does come out that this fight was fixed, this fight which was sanctioned by the Texas State Athletic Commission, a fight that there were odds on, people bet on it, there was money on the line, that is a federal crime. Hate to break it to everyone. Federal crime. And if this were exposed as a fraud, I think Jake Paul's getting the Pete Rose treatment along with anyone else that's in on it. I think they're banned from boxing in the sense of no state athletic commission would ever license them. Ever again. Just wouldn't happen. But it was really sad. Mike Tyson only landed 18 punches through 97 versus Jake Paul, 78 landed out of 278 thrown. It was a sad thing to see if you're a fan of Mike Tyson. Even sadder if he just did it for the money. Well, let me rephrase that. We know he did it for the money. What we don't know is if the fight was fixed or not. It would be sad if he came out there to take a dive for $20 million. Which that's another thing. That's wild to me if he's hurting for money, because I thought his cannabis business was doing amazingly well right now. Explain it to me. But is this a black mark on Mike Tyson's record? Of course, it's a professional fight. It had a loss to it. But he's still Mike Tyson. Just, it's sad. By the way, what was up with Evander Holyfield? That interview, that cringy pre-fight interview, I think it was before the ladies' fight. His audio wasn't working, but even when he understood what you were saying, he didn't know. I don't think he knew what day of the week it was. That guy's brain is like mashed potatoes now. Talk about sad. By the way, you know what's so sad? All the freaking people on social media that wouldn't shut the fuck up about Netflix buffering. How stupid are you guys? All you had to do was rewind the stream a couple of minutes. I had zero issues with Netflix all night Friday. So, good work, guys. All you had to do was rewind it a little bit. By the way, of course, people immediately ran to WWE and said, well, if Netflix can't handle a Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, how could they handle WWE? And a source within WWE wisely pointed out, and I'm paraphrasing, if we did anywhere near the numbers that fight did and it caused Netflix to crash, wouldn't be a bad problem to have. And that's absolutely right. There was something like between 55 and 60 million people streaming that event. No fucking shit Netflix is going to have issues or bogging down or buffering. By the way, Monday Night Raw on its absolute best possible week on Netflix ain't doing 2 million concurrent live viewers. I'm sorry to say it ain't happening. Nobody is going to be watching it. And guess what? I don't want to say that. The total viewership of Raw on Netflix is going to drop. It's going to go down a little bit. Because we're still not in a world where everyone on the planet can get high-speed internet sufficient enough to stream Netflix. At least with basic cable, you could be on the top of Mount Crumpet in Timbuktu and have a satellite dish. And yeah, you can get satellite internet, and there's Starlink, which is really good, even though we hate Elon Musk. But it's still, nobody has it. And if nobody has it, nobody's going to be watching. So, to the WWE source's point, again, it would be a good problem to have, but everyone that's trying to say that if they can't handle boxing, they can't handle WWE, knows absolutely nothing about the delta in viewership between the two. It's moronic to suggest that.